What's up, y'all? Today, got a little bit of an interesting video for you. It doesn't really have anything to do with the charts or trading at all. It has everything to do with how we think about trading. Okay? So, when it comes to how you decide you want to trade, you need to understand that no matter how you trade, there's going to be times where your edge does not work out. That's the whole point of why we have a system is to give us a slight edge. It's the same reason that people count cards in a casino, right? They might only have a 3% edge on the house, but they know that if they play the odds right and they keep their risk and their bets the same and they use proper risk management, that they'll have an edge and they will make money in the long term on the house. That's the same thing that we're doing, right? We're playing against the house, the institution, the banks, the market, and we know that our system gives us a slight edge. But we've been led to believe by a lot of different traders and people out there that these strategies that they teach us never lose. They'll lead you to believe that if you see this golden setup that you're going to make money, and when it doesn't work out, or it works two or three times for you, and then it doesn't work two or three times for you, and you start to lose your mind and you start to think that it doesn't work and you panic and you get in drawdown and you don't use proper risk management because you're worried about getting that trade back, and you end up just blowing your account in a matter of three or four trades. And I think that just comes from a lack of understanding and just knowing that this is part of the process. Okay. So for me, I don't care how you trade, man. I don't. I At Cypher we have a system. It's very systematic. How we look at structure, how we look at points of interest, how we do our refinements. But I don't care if you trade support resistance. I don't care if you trade trend lines. Okay, there's money to be made for everybody everywhere if you're consistent and you have mastered your craft. Okay, that's all it comes down to. So like, if you want to be support resistance, let me look for you here. Like maybe right here. Like maybe you got into a good trade right here. Right? You had your zone, it came into there, it held perfectly, gave you 250 pips. Okay, so just because the next time it comes in, right, to test your level and it fails to hold, that doesn't mean that you're gonna just like freak out, right? Because look, after it broke it, it held it again, right? I'm not a fan of support and resistance. I don't like to see the market that way because it's very inaccurate. It's hard to predict, how far below this level that price will go or how high above it price will go. That's why I'm not a fan of support and resistance. But it can be traded. Okay. If you understand these things, it can be traded. What I'm getting at here is like you got a great trade here and you made a lot of money, right? And then you got great trades here and you made a lot of money. So like when it comes back into your support level or your resistance level and it doesn't hold, and then you like freak out and you're like, I got to change my strategy, even though I just made a great trade here and a great trade here because I lost here and because I lost here. Now my strategy doesn't work, right? And that's a dangerous mindset. It's the same way. Like if you want to trade other retail concepts, like you want to trade a trend line, okay? And you're like, look right here. Okay, I got this trend line for me. Okay. I got a touch here. I got a touch here. I'm gonna buy here and it works. And I'm gonna buy here and it works. And then it sells through and it fails, right? And then I'm like, oh my God, trend lines don't work, even though I just made a great trade and I just made a great trade, right? It's a dangerous state of mind when you can't handle losing. And that's one of the biggest problems that I've had as a trader when I was first starting out. And, as I was growing as a trader, it was hard for me, man. It was hard to just accept these losses and to not let them turn into massive, you know, 2 or 3, 4% losses, right? It's really hard, especially as a beginner, to understand that like you have to take these losses. I used to think that like if I lost two or three in a row, that like I was done. I thought, this strategy doesn't work. I need to change. I need to look at something else. And then like I really sat down and I took the time to go through this and be like, okay, well, yeah, this failed, right? This didn't hold. It went early. It went without me. And then it didn't hold here, so that supply zone failed. And then we come up here, right? And we test this supply zone because I like to trade supply and demand. And then this supply zone gives me like a 1 to 10 RR, right? It gives me like 400 pips. And then I make 10 to 12% in one move, right? So then when I'm like, okay, well, that didn't hold, that didn't hold, that didn't hold, but this did, right? So let's say I lost 3 or 4 trades in a row, but then I made this 10% move right here. So like I don't care about what happened here anymore because I just made a massive winner, right? And same thing here. Like we come back down, we fail to make a new low, we come back up, we're still testing supply that's in here. If we look at what happened when this big move happened, we have our 2 up candles here and a big push down with imbalance, right? So if we mark this candle out, we take it over here, the market built up a lot of liquidity. Okay, so let's say I was trying to buy here and I lost, right? Blew through my zone. Let's say that I then tried to sell, wicked through my zone again, and then came back down. Now I'm buying, right? So I just lost 2 in a row. I get here, maybe I break even, and then you get this massive move from supply, right? And it breaks down again and gives you another 300 pips, right? So maybe you lost 2 or 3 trades in here again, and then you caught this one, made 5 or 6%. So you almost doubled what you lost. And then it comes back up again, test the supply some more, gives a great move away from it. Maybe it comes back, you fail, maybe you missed this. Okay, maybe you tried to sell this in here, some supply right here, you get blown through, comes back down, you try to sell it here, you lose, and then it comes back in here, test this overall supply again, and then you catch another massive move down, right? So that's what I'm like. It doesn't matter what you want to trade, right? You just have to master it, and you have to understand that losses are going to be part of the process. Okay, it doesn't matter if you trade trend lines. I don't care if you trade indicators. I don't care if you trade supply and demand. There are better ways to trade than other ways, in my opinion. I do believe that Cypher has probably one of the best ways to determine structure. Okay, the way we determine structure is completely systematic. Okay, so you're gonna know exactly what you're looking to happen for your bias, and then we use supply and demand in certain ways to get involved. Okay, but it doesn't matter how you trade. You can be just as profitable as anybody else trading your own style, trading support resistance, trading trend lines, trading, MACD or EMA crossovers, whatever you want to trade. That's completely up to you, right? But you have to understand that losses are going to be part of whatever system you choose to use. Okay, there is no 95% win rate. Okay, there's no such thing as even probably a 75% win rate. Okay, it's going to be probably more realistically around 30 to 40% is what a good win rate is going to look like. 30 to 40% is going to give you plenty of money, pips, whatever you want to calculate it as, okay? Because if I lose 3 or 4 trades in here for 1% and then I catch this trade, you think that's going to give me less than 3%? 400 pips, that's going to give me 10, 12%, right? So that those 3 losses, they don't matter. They're part of my system. Okay. So you need to understand that your win rate isn't going to be as pretty as people on YouTube tell you. They're going to put it on a thumbnail and they're going to tell you that it's a 75% win rate strategy, 80% win rate strategy. Okay. And then you test it for yourself and you find out that's not true. Okay. It might still be profitable, but that win rate they promised you on that thumbnail or that course you bought where they promised you that you were going to make 30-40% return every month, okay, it was all bullshit, man. Okay, you have to understand that you're going to take losses. Okay, these periods right here where where the market is generating liquidity, right? And then look what happens. It doesn't sweep it, right? It just trails off and then comes back and sweeps it, right? When it creates all this liquidity and you get stuck in that and you're trying to trade supply, right? Maybe you win, maybe you don't, comes back and blows through that zone and then sells, okay, and then this zone doesn't hold because it sells through it. So you get caught in this choppy manipulation period and you lose here and you lose here and then you freak out and you think that your strategy doesn't work. Oh my God, the markets are so hard. I'm getting manipulated, right? And then this happens and you get this perfect freaking trade, man. It never created a new low, right? Our supply is still being tested, comes into there, gets a perfect trade, and sells. That's the same thing that happens again, right? You get manipulated, whatever. Oh my God, my strategy is terrible. And then guess what? Gives this beautiful move, right? It's all about staying the course. It's all about having patience, understanding that you're going to lose more times than you win. And you have to be able to accept that psychologically, okay? You have to be able to accept that you're going to lose trades. And that doesn't mean that your strategy doesn't work, okay? Just deal with the losses. All right. And I promise you, if you master a strategy and you stick with it, you accept these losses in here, and then you catch these moves, you're gonna be smiling so big, man. It's gonna be all worth it. All those losses are all gonna be worth it when you catch that one move. That's what it's all about, is catching the move where the banks get involved, right? When they get involved, it's all over, man. You can just sit back, relax, and let that account grow, man. Take these losses, take these losses, take these losses, and then take these wins and take this win, right? And take this win and make these double, triple, and even four times your losses. So that's really all for the video, man. Happy Friday. I just wanted y'all to understand that if you're going through some hard times in the market and you're going through it thinking that your strategy doesn't work and thinking that, am I ever going to find profitability? Is this ever going to work out for me, man? You just have to have that slight edge and you have to act on that edge and trust yourself, even when you're losing and it's not your fault. Okay. It's just part of how it goes. It's part of the game. Taking the losses is part of the game. So please just keep in there and trust yourself. Stay strong, stay smart, and stay profitable. Happy Friday, guys. I'll see you on Tuesday.